it's Ann Kaplan from Mom Me, your mama resource from conception to college, supporting you every step of the way from your momming journey. I just got off a call with an amazing mom who had her baby a week ago, and I can't wait to work with her going forward. I helped her have her baby, and now I'm going to help her as a mama, and that's amazing. I love my job. And this week, what were we talking about? We are talking about morning routine, or just more specifically, getting out of the house on time without stabbing anybody or wanting to murder yourself or the people in your family. So how can we do that? On Tuesday, I talked about what I believe is the most biggest mistake we make, and it's the key to getting all the stuff that I'm going to talk about today sticking. And that's what did I say? I said, when we care more than our kids do about getting out of the house or making something happen, it's never going to happen. And that's when we start doing all this reminding and did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do this? We don't want to do that anymore. So the 3 things we talked about on Tuesday were using natural consequences with no reminding, and what else? Say it with a smile. Staying calm. If you can do those 3 things, then you're going to be on the path to success. But what we're going to talk about today is like little hacks and tips that are going to make it even easier for you to do those 3 things. Because like when everything is going crazy, it's so hard to stay like, I don't care. I'm not going to remind you. It's okay. Natural consequences. So let's talk about it. My first tip to you guys, when it comes to getting your kids out of the house on time or getting yourself out of the house on time or whatever, is be clear. Even if you don't have kids, this is important. Be clear with yourself. Be clear with your kids. Be clear with your partner. What is ready for your day? What does it mean to be ready for your day? What are your expectations? So talk about it first. Talk about it with yourself. If you're a single person with no kids, talk about it with your family. Say, like, when I say getting ready for your day, this is what I mean. I mean that you've brushed your teeth, that you're dressed, that your backpack is by the front door, that you've had some breakfast, that your room is clean, that your bed is made, blah, blah, blah. And some families, cleaning a room, it's not a morning time thing. Getting ready for your day doesn't mean that, or whatever. But have something, a conversation first. So set expectations with your kids. And that is what I like to call full disclosure, which means that you have no culpability later when you have to enforce these natural consequences, right? Because you were warned. And that gets to my second thing. Make it super clear. Write it down, okay? Be clear and have a conversation about it and write it down. Write down a list. And if your kids are younger, even if they're not younger, put pictures on the list. You can put a picture of a toothbrush. You can put a picture of a hairbrush. You can put a picture of a nicely made bed, a picture of a backpack by the front door, like whatever. When I was in college, I lived in a co-op, and there were literally pictures on the cabinets of what the cabinet was supposed to look like when you open it up, because even college students get a little deep and need a little bit of exigente, demanding, forcing them to have clear expectations, okay? And once you have that list, this is what happens all the time, we make lists and then we never even use the list, okay? So the great thing about the list is in the morning, you can say things like, are you guys ready for your day? I really hope you're ready for your day. And if somebody asks you, blah, 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 you can say, oh, you know what? Don't even need to talk about it, buddy. Don't worry. Just check the list out. Or the next day, or when they get home from school or whatever, when they have a natural consequence, you can say, we don't even need to fight about it. I love you too much to argue, buddy, and that's why we made the list. So we don't even have to argue. You can look at the list, okay? So use the list, okay? And then the third thing I want to tell you guys is celebrate, okay? Celebrate for 2 reasons. Positive reinforcement is super important. So when your kids do the right thing, yay! Make a huge deal out of it. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. I'm so excited. It makes me so happy when I have someone in my family doing this and this and this. So that's number 1, positive reinforcement. That number 2, you can use your celebration as a little reminder cheat, because it's really hard for us not to remind the kids. It's really hard for us to not say, did you brush your teeth? Did you brush your teeth? Did you brush your teeth? I asked you 3 times to brush your teeth. It's really hard to do that. So if you feel like you have the little reminder urge and you want to scratch that reminder itch, I encourage you, instead of reminding, to celebrate. And I'm going to give you 2 examples. If you have more than 1 kid, you can totally use one kid's celebration to remind the other kid to do something, which I totally did this morning. I walked by Elijah and River's room and it was all clean. And I was like, oh my God, you guys, your room looks so clean. I'm so happy. I can't believe it. Look at this room. Oh my gosh. And Gigi heard me say that, and she scurried off into her room and cleaned it up. And I had already looked at her room and I knew it was a mess, and I had to stop myself. I almost was like, Gigi, your room's not clean. You're not ready for your day. But I didn't. Instead, I was like, how can I flip it? So that is actually a huge helpful tip for you guys. Flip your reminder to a celebration. And if you don't have any other kids, this is the other way you can celebrate. Celebrate yourself. I did that this morning also. I was like, oh my gosh, you guys, ready for my day. I've brushed my teeth. I did this. I did this. I did this. I feel so excited. Look at that. I still have like 5 minutes to go. I love feeling ready for my day. I know you guys are going to feel great when you're ready for your day too. You know, celebration instead of reminding, okay? That's tip 3. Tip 4. I got a bunch of tips for you guys today because this is so awesome. Prepare in advance, okay? I know that you guys hate somebody saying like, oh, just lay out your clothes the night before, because it sounds like you're a crazy person with a giant stick up your butt. But be honest, you guys, it takes like 10 minutes max to do some stuff that would make your life 1,000,000 times easier tomorrow. So instead of farting around on your phone before you go to bed, which you shouldn't do anyway, take 10 extra minutes and do whatever it is you need to do. So like in our family, we don't do this anymore, but when our kids were much, much younger, my husband would pour cereal, dry cereal in bowls and put spoons out on the counter and put little cups of milk like that were on the bottom shelf of the refrigerator. So in the morning, our kids could get up, open the refrigerator, pour their milk in their cereal, and you know how much time that bought us? It was great. We don't do that anymore because we don't need to. Our kids make their own breakfast without any help from us at all. But that made a big difference. And it literally took him probably like 2 minutes to do that before he went to bed at night. Or laying your kids' clothes out, making lunches the night before, that kind of thing. Don't give me an eye roll about this because it really makes a huge difference. It literally takes 10 minutes and it can buy you like 20 minutes in the morning, because that time that you would have been doing all of that stuff, you can be actually getting yourself ready and staying focused on the right mindset to get everybody else running like a well-oiled machine, okay? And you could also even work into your bedtime routine some of the things that are getting ready for the day, so that you're not the one doing all this getting ready for their day the night before. You can work into the nighttime routine. Hey, let's lay out your clothes for tomorrow. Or hey, let's make your lunch together, or whatever, depending on the age of your kid. So that doing things in advance, prepping ahead, it doesn't have to just be all on mom and dad, okay? And the last thing I want to say, and this actually is the hugest one, practice what you preach. Okay, you can't be running around like a chicken with your head cut off, screaming at yourself or frantically looking for your stuff because you didn't get ready in time and you didn't do the things you should have done yesterday or didn't wake up with enough time for yourself, and then expect your kids to be all quiet and calm and like little robots getting ready for their day, okay? You need to be the calm, collected, and prepared person that you want your children to be, okay? How many times do I say in this group, stop parenting, start modeling. Quit parenting, start modeling. The best thing you can do is model that calm person who cares for themselves and is prepared for their day, because that is the person that you're trying to turn your children into, okay? So that means don't neglect yourself. Don't go out of the house with your hair all wet and all messed up if you don't want to. Don't go out of the house in your pajamas all the time if you don't want to. Don't neglect yourself for your children, because when you're not modeling self-care, when you're not modeling taking care of yourself and the behaviors that you want your children to have, they're never going to do it. I mean, do as I say, not as I do, right? It's an age-old adage. So it's really quite simple. If you want your kids to do something, you have to do it too. So if you're a morning mess, you need to cut that out. Like, be realistic. If you're getting up too late in the morning, you're not preparing the night before, you don't even really know what you need to do, you're the one who's shaping your day at that point, okay? And maybe that's tough to hear, but it's true. So it's absolutely possible for you to take 10 minutes the night before and get all this stuff done and flip those reminders to celebrations in the morning and at night. Make a list, be super clear with your expectations with your kids. And when things go well, like I literally have a feeling when we get out of the house on time, you guys won't even need to remind yourself to do this, because when you get out of the house on time with minimal fighting, with minimal effort on your part, when that day comes, There's a feeling that you will have when you are in your car taking your kids to school, or getting on your bike and driving wherever riding your bike wherever you're going, or whatever, which is this feeling of like, oh my God, like it's a fantasy. I'm living a fantasy. And when you have that feeling, share the love. Tell your kids you're so proud of them. Tell them how much you love them and how it's going to be such a great day because you guys all worked together and everyone did what they needed to do. And that's a family and that's a team. It is possible, you guys. I love you so much. I want you to have these mornings. And if I told you the stuff that goes on in our house in the morning, you might actually hate me. But I can tell you for a fact, it wasn't always this way. Mommy exists because I first considered murdering everyone and lighting my life on fire, okay? So I know what you're going through, but I also know that you can have a calm, cool, collected family with tons of responsibility and ownership and affirmation. It is possible. So I hope you have an amazing day. I hope that this video helps you have an even more amazing day tomorrow and have an incredible Friday. Start your weekend right with an amazing morning with your children, with yourself, and I will talk to you again next week. We'll see what horrible things my children do this weekend to inspire me for next week's theme. That's what happened this week. Bye, everybody. Happy Thursday.